cover is not loyal. The emperor and the master of the flower. The sand is floating there. Yellow sand in the shape of flamboyant direction, asked. Is still not Sao. My eyes are also bleeding fresh. Stress response. Can't. This ghost is much stronger than the previous two. It can contaminate our 5 senses. Through sight. When the sand heard that, it fell into meditation. I don't know what I'm thinking on this side. King Ian Min has transformed, switched to the electrically charged state. Before he left, he did not forget to remind himself. I'll use you to call the rain in a moment. To mobilize celestial energy. You are prepared to lead. It is best to use the sky. He broke the 7 horns of the angel. It's coming out on this ground. Make it angry and pull it out of the ground. King Ian Min are in a state of union with life. Leeching progress 70%. Still confused. He, and then fly away in the air. Li Dong looked at the shadow of his back, thinking silently. Fortunately, this is the life of the dog. There was a talent. It can be merged with life. Taxation progress can be increased up to 70%. If not, Shichuga and his incarnation are not easy to handle. Move the scene to the other side. The doctor is still talking to him. It's your world. There's not some old saying or Sao. What knows the time is the hero. All the new ones. Looks like you're not a hero. Tanha Cold Spring. Don't think. I didn't know the world was taken over by you. How will it eventually become Ra? You'd rather kill me. Better than making me the wrong man for you bastards. Stop the fake sighing. It's a shame. He hasn't had time to say anything yet. Then there was a giant hand on the back of him. Turn him into a pile of meat. The one who did nothing else was Trong to Kai. He has just done 36 great tricks like that. He glanced over at the grandpa and asked his mother how annoying it was. Why didn't you stop me? You must have recognized my mine. What are you doing? Why are you going to sneak in? He replied casually. I only serve his master. Whether he lives or dies has nothing to do with me. Zhang, when you hear that, the expression on your face is hard to describe. Up an hour. Excuse the king, have you seen the horns in the city? Tan Nguyen shook his head. There is no such thing as a bad breath. I finally found someone I haven't seen. The servants of heaven. Along with the new ghost came. Are indiscriminately attacking the living beings in the city. I looked too closely at the 7 horns. That the 5 senses have been contaminated. I can't feel the servants of that ghost anymore. You share your power with me. I'm going to save people. To hear that, there is no thought. Respond now. Li Dong is constantly clasping his hands. Stop moving the ball to change the drag. 5 base. 5 long row Kwang Gong distribution rain hook helper. 5 lakes of water flowing to the source. God's commands are constantly obeyed. Dare to violate the law and not tolerate the level as the law commands. Above the 9 floors of lightning and lightning. The king sits in the center. The current rate of conversion has reached 85%. Turn the scene towards the 4th floor of Lao Tian Pioneer. Black shadow carried under a dagger tree. Prudential direction, say Ra. The price for me to take action is not cheap. Can you afford to pay? This tiger is the last master of cardboard chemistry. Accept the exam of pure Kai foot. It's important to respond, as long as you help me. The outer seal of the ghost on my back. Then we can give you a chance. Confronting the pressure hold for the 2nd time. Terrified to hear that, I was delighted to agree. The most handsome man in the world. I can give you the assignment. Then let's release the ghost. Important not to say much. Put your hands together immediately. The devil's body on his back. Quickly released. I just went out and hit my eye. It's a tiger holding a dagger. My feet just looked. Recognize the opponent's background. Follow the path of all things Sao. I don't blame my son for calling me to help. The direction of execution, he screamed extremely powerfully. Your feet are not weak. Swinging the knife up and hitting Ra a click towards it. The magician on the back of the lion was horrified. This is impossible. There are people in this world who can cut. A slash. He has even overcome the god of evil. Okay. He was terrified of his cold, cruel heart. Where did the cheap name come from? But dare to compare with the Sao. And suddenly, it startled. Use my giant body to take my slash. It looks like this lion. Do not follow the path of encouragement and pressure, although it is not yet known how much he knows about things. But just don't be the next object. Or real weakness doesn't matter. Maybe it's not too hard to kill it. Think about here. He then clasped his hands to implement 36 great tricks like that. His body then slowly grew. His body is fast. He was on par with the lion in front of him. Let's treat each other equally. With a body like this, I think it's okay. The lion saw that, and his face cracked. Again, clearly not happy. She hurried to remind him. Calm down, don't compete with him. Or we'll lose control. Like when dealing with the 11th dynasty of Egypt. So in the heart of thinking out of control. This heavenly ghost, in addition to the human and the black lion, there may be a form. Third is more dangerous than Sao. The head is a little suspicious. Not so big anymore. If so, I will do it. And when he had said that, he galloped the goat and led the lion away. The lion doesn't choose to catch or fight back. It's constantly dodging people. The guy on his back reminded me. Just focus on avoiding. Control under the tail. Give it to me. Close legs are attacking cool hands. Suddenly startled. Because the lion's tail suddenly reached out. It's like a flower in front of him. He looked at his tail as if hypnotized. And very quickly he discovered himself. Are lost in an infinite space of galaxies. Is magic Sao. The strong body is not inferior. It's like choosing the worst way to fight. Reminds me of a pagan named Sala. Outside the current, my leg was hit by magic. My eyes are now white. Loss of consciousness. My body is still standing there without moving. The lion took this opportunity to kill it. Worried to come to the side of the grave. We're not helping him. Is it okay to just stand there and watch? Ninning laughter. Don't fold that here. I want to stand up because I want to challenge you. He used the sword of God to sweep away countless blessings. This magic-like method is also common. I don't believe he has no way of dealing with it. In front of the lion, he opened his mouth. Bite to the top of the head, close legs. But at this very moment, I woke up. Let's throw it up, give it a shot. There is no way to believe the scream. It's impossible. Its consciousness is clear. I'm trapped in a spiritual labyrinth. Why can it still counterattack? Just as the important says, before challenging the pressure hold, close leg has sucked the full power of public visualization to capture the Shinto demons, eating people everywhere. Then thanks to Willow, help to overcome the limitations that life set, to win a lot of blessings. These blessings make pure Kai foot. They can deal with almost any type of situation. Extremists, rather than. There is only one way to defeat the enemy. It's a direct breakthrough. Close Kai legs bend the final evaluator. And priority to solve the parasite on the enemy's back first. It's cold. If the spiritual labyrinth doesn't work for you, then this is how to transform the devil. He's just performed leg-bending magic. It turns into a green frog. Giant tiger. Now it's as small as a normal frog. You can't believe it with your mouth open. Is to create Sao Nin key direction he assigned. Don't just stand there. Come with me to save people. The lawyer laughed loudly. I recorded what I said. Even though your power is primitive and primitive. But there's also a lot of special features. But everything just comes here. The Lion King quickly raised his hand. Put your feet down. Die, asshole. But this 1 minute, the lion didn't even hit it. He had a blood transfusion from the air. Swing the pedals for a ride. The lion's face is on the lion's back. Also because of this one blow that spits fresh blood. Importance in the form of King Ian Min. In the heart of thought. It's very hard, of course. So let's see how it works. He immediately clasped his hands. Recitation of poetry. Very fast. He's deployed the North Pole schedule. The lightning god of King Ian Min. 8 flickering life lightning quickly lead the lion away. The lion has no way to escape. He was immediately electrocuted, who screamed with great anguish. The frog turned into a frog. Are unconsciously uttering. Analyze the current state. And suddenly, it disappears in place. It's not because he ran away on his own. That maze has used extremely fast speeds. Take it and run to safety. He ran a safe distance from the lion. Then stop asking. You can use Thai to translate the 100 variations. To turn back the shape, not at first. Breathe your feet back. You can't have the shaman parasitize on the black shaman Kier. He has cast a curse on me. To grow old in the form of a toad. Stupid pious bitten thinking hand. Curse, Sao. Let's think about why. Put your feet in his hands. Suddenly, there's a ray of light coming out of my body. But if you can't translate the picture, doesn't mean we can't break this curse. Thanks to the blessing. According to its sound, the tiger's body is very fast. Has appeared again. Stupidity in the heart startled. After the body glowed, the curse is lifted. This is a kind of blessing, almost identical to the bioluminescence of 72 arts. He looked back at the 2 important people. I remember the Great Northern War. The lightning god of King Ian Min. It's not that strong. Did something happen to him or not? Or the lion's weakness is thunder. Thinking of this, he called out. Important. The birth chamber can disrupt its creation. The king on the lion's back gritted his teeth. Just see that face. Is that I'm already annoyed. Transformation of the Duong. It is important to listen to the reminder. Then smile. Born Kwong Sao. He then disappeared on the spot. Appeared on the top of the lion's head. At first I thought, we'll rely on speed control. The time of this world. Slowly hit. From which to gain experience in dealing with foreign gods, before going to hell. But now I see it's impossible. The outside world can be as tough as the pressure. But it also holds both direction and creativity. This is really too dangerous. So it's best to deal with it sooner. He launched a lightning bolt. Straight at the black man. Inside the dream set foot. It's leisurely right now, cross-thinking hands. I understand the principle of this art. The sky is full of stars in front of us. Actually, we've been locked in a secret 7 in the spirit world. Once you realize this, it's time to get out of here. It won't be difficult anymore. When he thought about it, he closed his eyes. Start focusing your thoughts. Very fast, he felt a door next to him. Is over there, Sao. He quickly picked up the knife. Towards the door. Outside of reality, the black body right now, there's a lot of tumors emerging. It looks so freakish. The king before being swallowed by the tumors. Keeps screaming out loud. It's very spicy. Can push us to this point. of inferior species like you. You can be proud. But don't be complacent. Next, you will face an immortal creature. No more reason, no more fatigue. Tired of a creature born just to destroy everything. Finished saying these words, he also turned into a pool of blood. Disappeared on the body of the black lion. Instead of being incompetent, there are countless other lion heads that appear on the black lion's back. They're screaming in 8 or 4 directions, and they're screaming like hell. There was a panic on his face. Don't tell me. This is its true form. It's really horrible. At the same time, the consciousness of the feet also returns to the body. He looked at the monster in front of him. It's also hard to avoid being startled. It wasn't long before we left. Why this lion? It turns into such a demonic form. Important right now, he also returned to his form. They landed next to the two of them. You can analyze. Which way is this multi-headed lion going? It is not necessary to speak your mind. I guess it's variation or separation, moving the scene to the Luoyang battlefield. I thought I'd save 3 communes from hell. To the front of the copper. We've brought the transmission of technology. Where's the key? Li Dong raised the spindle in his hand and did not answer. Axis power is again opened. And I thought I was sent to heaven. High thunder. The other 3 were the same as he led. Gao looked at the 2 of them. Still keep a contemplative attitude. I don't know what I'm thinking. The 2 of them soon after. They were also taken to the 4th floor. Tian Lao Pioneer. 2 people just landed. In a hut by the ear, there's a sound. I still wonder. That year, you went behind your ass. That's the devil's name. It turns out that the great transmission that the emperor mentioned, that's him. The one who speaks up is the ceremony. I thought I didn't care about this question. What is the current situation? The ceremony glanced at the distance. See for yourself. It's not far away. Importance in the form of tarpaulin with evil communication are fighting with the black lion inside the poison pond. Pay attention to the people who remind you not to take risks. This monster's healing power is too strong. Slowly waiting for the poison to seep into its bones. Is corn. Sacrifice right now. It's also turned into 2 wheels like Latras. At his feet, so that he can easily fly by. Back in the air, Sao evil. Listen to the important reminder. Once again, dive under the poison. Thought to observe the battle stroking Chin Sok. I don't blame God for falling. To seal off this monster, you need to use your power. Ghosts have the power to bind everything. Was actually fixed by the village's technology transmission. You save 3 communes, or who is the god of death? Thought to explain. That's the old man we met in Luoyang. After I brought you back from the dead. Save 3 communes awakened, is he Sao? It's true that the real person is invisible. I thought I didn't see it at all. Below the Black Lion battlefield right now, they're still surrounded by the big boys. Its heads are constantly glancing from the side. Careful in the heart of wonder. In a state of pandemic poisoning, it can still be reborn. The lion's head is dissolved by the base, at such a fast speed. If the other ghosts, there's also this kind of regenerative speed. It's annoying. While he was thinking, then the blacksmith did the metamorphosis, turning his tail into snakes towards him. When I hit the key, I started to smell cold. There's no head parasite on you, but it can still use the same kind of contact or Sao bridge. A part of his body very quickly broke, fell down. They've been trained by the Black Master. Just fell to the ground and turned into countless coyotes. Black Lion with big eyes on his face. It's full of confusion. At the same time, his feet also flew up the executioner. Black people don't pay attention. He was slashed from below in 1 stroke. Along the lower abdomen. At lunch, the Black Master screamed. Extremely annoying. If you see that, you will be delighted. It's a great way to steal a bite. Attacked by the Black Master, Cho was forced to retreat. It's the direction of careful screaming. It's important, let's kill it. It is important for people to come. You don't have to say I will too. He wagged his wounds on the 100 transformations. Caused the poison below to flare up violently. Right after that, he continued to build the empire. Enveloped above the poison. The tsunami soon after. Then he turned towards the Black Master and closed his leg to the black. He faced this terrible attack. I can't help but scream. But it doesn't stand a chance. Avoid escape. This move was quickly covered by the tsunami. 3 communes in the distance to observe suspicious, or ask, "Are you sure you need my help?" This ghost is not about to die. Thought seriously face. Don't let its appearance fool you. The power of this ghost. It's not going to go down that much. The tsunami recedes into the Black Lion's body again. Compared to the many mighty heads before. Then the present. It's like an old lion dying. Skinny, too pitiful. Right now in the air, there's a blood vessel falling on him. It's broken into countless small pieces. This image is the Thai army in form. Borrowing the power of Lu Tuan. For it, you can beat your opponent like this. It's a wonderful thing. Careful standing on the far side of thinking. They were beaten like this by the Thai army. Even if you want to recover, it probably takes a lot of time. I thought I was screaming right now. Don't be fooled by its miserable condition. Its state is very good. It's a long time before it's seriously damaged. I thought I just finished. Beneath the Black Lion's body there were countless lumps of meat. Up very quickly. Countless Black Lion heads once again emerged from the pool of blood. This time, they don't grow on the same body. It's growing independently from below. Nin in bite teeth. How could this monster survive so long? Thought the direction saved 3 commune asked. I remember the original paralysis. It says that the physical thing has a name. An animal with a name must have been born. The ghost descended. Will also be affected by SAO paralysis. Save 3 communes nod. Yes, I thought seriously. Then please hurry to the country. We need the power of God's grace. Turn the scene to the 10 people. He was turned into a chicken. He is now looking around innocently. Willow Tuan suspicious or ask, "What is this chicken doing?" Boiled with lemon pepper or baked chili salt. Tired Copper responds it can't be killed. Because the outside world is a double body. The face is quite easy to handle, as the face is orderly. Just when complete order of death, the face of chaos with no new order appears. Trust me, you don't want to see that side of him. Willow Tuan frowned furiously. If I couldn't kill, then there's only one way to find someone to seal it. At this moment, the chicken came out. It turns out, that's it. Both of them were extremely shocked. Turn your head and look at it. The current chicken. No more innocent faces like before. Instead, it's an extremely violent form. Species change of target by SAO exposure. That's an interesting ability. Talk about here. From the chicken's body there was a terrible black gas released. Form malice photo. Appeared again before the eyes of the people. It is a pity that you know absolutely nothing about me. So this was planned from the beginning. It's a useless waste. Willow Tuan is amazed that the catalyst has been reversed. This ghost has a trick to transform animals. It's equivalent to morphology. Vu was also riding on a horse in the back. Observe the opponent. Let's shout out loud. Quick to use isotope orange manure. On the opposite side, he stooped. Prepare to draw the sword. Concord just withdrew. Willow Tuan immediately clasped hands poetry. Want to develop the isotope raw. On the opposite side, he quickly swung his sword. Cut out a click. His first goal is to dance in the distance. A sword that carries extremely powerful power. Where does it go? The stone houses were cut to pieces. When he finished this trick, he could not help but complain. It's unimaginable. There is such a good horse in this world. You can avoid the greatest of the gods. Very good, it's mine. The opposite side, body dancing, bravely riding on horseback, very quickly appeared again perfectly, without any pity. He's excited because he thinks he's about to get a horse. Then, suddenly, there was a long hand in the back. He turned his head angrily and glanced back. The man who attacked him was no one else. It's Lu Tuan. You see the enemy. To avoid this sudden attack of mine. He was cold. But it can be avoided. He turned around to face him. I almost forgot about you. Your ability is also a problem. So let's start with the first one. But life is not a dream. The dance in the back is not vegetarian. Do whatever you like. He drove the horse. Behind his evil heart, he swung. You also deserve to own a dog. Let's reconsider our numbers. He was suddenly attacked by him. I can't help but raise my sword. Just touching him directly, he was startled. This is not power that mortals can control. Who are you? He's not out of surprises. Tuan Thin Willow once again swung his hand to hit. This time his arm caught him. Foot of evil photo. He didn't hesitate. Once again, I'm learning my emotions. His evil body was once again affected. Began to deform into animals. On the opposite side, Dance is also without hesitation. Quickly execute out his prime minister's body legs. Does not retain the body crushed into flour. He just finished his speech. The general in the back slammed down. This life carries tremendous power. That's why an entire city is shaken. Willow Tuan on one side. I also have this terrible power. Make the shock. The French general is terrible. What kind of god is this person? Attack through. It's just like what Aunt Vu said about him right now. Only the head remains. The body was completely crushed. He's headed behind the deputy. Change 10 kindness to clean up. This alien is no longer a threat. Biting your teeth isn't over yet. This guy's life is hard. Don't be fooled by its tragedy. He had just finished speaking from the skull of his malice. Immediately, there are countless blood gases released raw. Willow Tuan's face wrinkled. He was beaten to half his head. It can still be restored intact. These ghosts are probably all immortal bodies. Malevolent photo once again restored to a perfect state. Ridicule, I told you. You don't know anything about me. So no matter how you do it, it's all a useless waste. He just showed up again. He immediately rushed to his evil heart again this time. I don't even want to turn my back on the dance. He raised his sword to stop his attack. I told you. You're just wasting your time in vain. When he finished, he swung the counterattack sword. Force Vu to back out. Extend the distance. Dance those several times in a row. You can't beat the enemy, but still extremely confident, at least as far as I can see, whether it's a god or a ghost. If you bleed, you can kill. What you call a useless waste. I still haven't figured out how to dissect you. Talk about here. The air on him flared up again. It shows the power of an evil general. The mind is cold, to speak ambiguously. Willow Tuan is back, landed next to Dong Hoa. Ghosts are hard to kill. He was beaten so badly that only half his head was left. It can also be restored to its best state. In the blink of an eye, in history, never appeared. Monsters have the power to restore such metamorphosis. Dishonest harmony. Maybe he's never been hurt. Willow Tuan frowned furiously. You mean he used some kind of occultation? Front. Vu has once again attacked the evil image. Continuous sword wound VA touch extremely fierce. From above, the evil man. Suddenly, there's tentacles coming out. They quickly turned into countless mouths. Like the demons, the dance bites. Vu is still very calm. A little trick, get out of here. Behind him, there is an image. A golden lion opened its mouth and screamed. Immediately, all the tentacles of his evil heart were crushed. To see this situation, he couldn't help but be amazed. I can't believe it. Dance contemptuously mocked. So the weapons didn't start playing SAO again. Except for this hard-to-kill point. Then you are completely unworthy of the heavenly body. Where? He was angry because of his words. African people rush up. Shut up, you. It's just an inferior creature. Light weapons raised their hands to execute the general. His evil heart has not yet come. They teased me back away. The upper half of his body was once again beaten. Cold dance. I lost my head to see how you live this time. But very quickly, he's in the lower half of his body. There's blood coming out again. He lost his head, but he could be reborn again. Slowly stand up. He is perfect without any hurt. He appeared again in front of people. Admitted, my martial arts have not adapted to this world. They can't fight you yet. So as not to lose the reputation of the complaint, Ta can only use the methods that fighters most despise. To cut the heads down. His body soon became invisible. Into the air. Color-wrinkled face began to analyze. First, the body becomes transparent. Then the footprints. The smell of blood and breath disappeared. Hiding at this kind of level. Based on the observation of this body, I'm afraid it's hard to see through. While he thought the 7 gods, then his evil suddenly appeared behind him. Swing the sword. But that, unexpected, Vu was able to react in time. Turn your head up. He stopped one of his swords. He was once again taken by surprise. There's no way to understand you. Can you see me? Calmly replied. This is intuition on the battlefield. He's out of hiding again after he goes into hiding. It was quite a bit. The Willow Tuan in the distance suddenly uttered. I know. Is that the shadow? The essence of this ghost is in the shadow. The enemy is going to continue to attack. The dance heard Tuan Thin Willow say out his trick. Then startled to a halt. He looked back at the people they were waiting for. Dance can also touch his spirit for me. Suddenly dropped suddenly. He hurried towards the Willow Tuan people shouting loudly. Be careful, he's looking for you. He just finished. His evil appeared at the top of the crowd. It's too late. A powerful sword has fallen. If any of you hit this trick, afraid everyone will have to leave. But right now, 10 good future appears for people. Stop this one sword of evil photo. All 3 of them were extremely surprised. Filled with confusion. 10 good intentions evil heart, he ridiculed. The road is the embodiment of complaint. It's based on the disparity of information. To bully others. It's too bad. That's for me. Fight with you, evil. His evil mind is hard to understand. Why do you know the name of the general? 10 cold smiles. Guess what? He didn't wait for his evil heart to react. He opened his mouth and spat out the fire. Fly towards him. He was burned by Yu Du Min. Immediately anguish flew out the back, screaming, extremely tragic. Even the sword in my hand fell out. But it's only temporary. Very quickly, his body adapted and recovered. It's weird. In front of everyone's eyes, he again dissolves into nothingness. Fall into a state of invisibility. Willow Tuan's wrinkled face disappeared again. 10 kind smiles to reassure him. It won't escape. Over 30 breaths. The queen will take the initiative to save life and death. Willow Tuan time flourished in the heart of startled. 30 more breaths. Why does the boy know? He's the man who sued King Sao. But that doesn't make sense. 10 good people don't care about his attitude. Keep talking until then. There's going to be a ghost in Luoyang. Lu Tuan is naked. What if there's still a ghost coming? 10 earnest nods. That's right. More. Follow this ghost with the wrong hand. They will gather the living in the city. I want to ask you, let's turn the deer into animals and take them away. Before King In Min fell, the sky is falling. Please, please. Willow Tuan very quickly recovered the shock. But laugh, haha. I can't believe that Willow Tuan is born, killing people like straw. But there is also a good day. Don't worry, the old man accepted. 10 goodness then turned his head to look at Dong Hoa. Dong Hoa, CA later, please CA help me pass the words to my master. Say there's a ghost heart. Need to rely on one of his legal entities to crack down. And the false hand descended upon the third ghost. We need CA to help us beat it into the mountain of hell. During the time, we use the impeachment. Concord without hesitation, nods in agreement. It doesn't matter. There was something before that. Can you answer one of my questions? 10 good people know what he wants to ask. I didn't wait for him to say, so I answered. The capital one. Dong Hoa sighed a little sad. Is that so? The dance is also coming from another side. Do you need me to do something? 10 virtues immediately deployed fire label, Venus. It causes the pupils to glow. Dance class CA follow me. We're going to solve the evil image. Another party but people 10 good current with Tran Hung. It is still under the influence of life and death. I don't know what happened. Just like the future 10 said. After 30 breaths, the king has reclaimed his life and death. The time flow immediately returns to normal. 10 virtues that have escaped from life and death. He said, your current master. But he hasn't finished yet. The ground trembled extremely violently. What's going on? It's the land of the dragon. He quickly delivered these words. 10 good advice for Tran Hung. Mr. Chen. Soon, there's a ghost heart. Need to borrow your legal carpenter. To suppress the economy. Please be ready. Tran Hung suspected, or how do you know that I am a legal person? Smiling flower. It's a big character. I have a friend with whom you told me. I know that Chen Hung in my heart is even more suspicious. The devil is also a big character. Master Ra also put his hand in. On the other side, Willow Tuan. It's floating in the air right now. Look at the bottom. He then I graduated from medical school. Except for his nurse. And his body immediately swelled up. Then from his mouth, there's a multitude of things sprayed out. It just came out of his mouth. It's all transformed into countless forms of evil. Screaming, extremely monstrosities in extremely large numbers. Very fast. Completely covered the top of the Tran Hung. 3 of them have just escaped. I don't know if the enemy is the enemy or me. So it's very stressful. Dong Hoa, when I saw their faces, I spoke up. You don't have to worry. He's on our side. He's been assigned another mission by the big Kier. The other side is also on the other side right now. Looking up into the air. Lu Tuan's magic very quickly completely covered the sky of Luoyang. This place suddenly fell into the end of the world. The fire is burning everywhere. Under the ground, there are also countless giant pointed horns rising up. The sky was covered in countless screaming monsters. Zhang just looked. I knew this was a demon.